NBC's Tom Costello is following all the updates. He joined us now from Boston at this critical time. Hey, Tom, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. We are at Coast Guard Command. It was 4 days ago, right about now, that sub went into the water. And so now we are at that critical moment when air may be running very low, if not already exhausted. The Canadian Coast Guard just put out these images moments ago. They have new ships that have just arrived on scene. They are the Canadian ship Anne Harvey is on scene, as well as the Horizon Arctic, which is a ship that can drop an ROV, a remotely operated vehicle. In fact, they've now already dropped one down to the floor of the ocean, and a French ship has arrived on scene. They've just put their submersible into the water as well. Listen, the hope, as you suggested, is that maybe if these guys are alive, they've been trying to remain calm and conserve their breathing. But if they find that sub, they've got a huge challenge lifting it up out of the water, maybe from a depth of 2.5 miles. The whole world is watching, and the whole world is holding out hope.
An already urgent effort to find that missing sub in the North Atlantic is kicking into an even higher gear this morning as rescuers face an incredibly ominous fight against time. With the supply of air on the vessel that disappeared on a dive to the Titanic wreck believed to be nearing its end. Still, the Coast Guard and others are not slowing their efforts. Additional resources coming in by air and sea overnight and throughout the day.
This is a search and rescue mission, 100%. We'll continue to put every available asset that we have.
On Wednesday, Canadian air crews who dropped sonar buoys into the water reported once again hearing unusual noises in the water, which some said sounded like banging. Experts are using specialized acoustic equipment to analyze the sounds to rule out other ships or marine life. So far, their effort to identify a source has been inconclusive.
The bottom line is there are a lot of sounds in the ocean.
That's right. The needle in the haystack is to separate that signal that they want to hear from all the other sounds that are happening there.
Now, video is emerging captured by a crew member on board the sub's mothership, showing, she says, the moments the submersible began its descent. For family and friends of the 5 people aboard that sub owned by Ocean Gate and dubbed Titan, it's been an especially stressful time.
I'm in a state of shock at the moment.
In Pakistan, Muhammad Hashim says he's had a tough time sleeping. His longtime friend, Shahzada Dawood, and Dawood's son, Suleiman, are still down there.
He was very adventurous, but from inside, he was a very soft, kind, and very selfless kind of a person.
Titan lost contact on Sunday during what should have been another submersible journey to the Titanic's resting place. Discovery's Josh Gates went inside the sub during a test phase in 2021, filming for his show Expedition Unknown.
There are aspects of the sub's design that are incredibly impressive.
But he says ultimately they scrapped plans to do an episode going all the way down to Titanic.
You know, we had issues with thruster control. We had issues with the computers aboard. We had issues with comms. I just felt as though the sub needed more time and it needed more testing, frankly.
Back here at Coast Guard Command, where they are very much in an intense search and rescue operation stage. Not anything else, they emphasize, search and rescue. We should mention it's not just running out of air that's a risk. Carbon dioxide levels could potentially be rising inside that sub. That could create a very toxic situation. Hypothermia at that depth and the cold. Lastly, I would tell you that Hamish Hardy, one of the people on board the sub, when he was going to the Mariana Trench, he said he's aware that if something happens at that depth, there may be no coming back. Guys, back to you.
Tom, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.